Antonio Martinez examined the cream-colored stone edifice through his scrying spell. The building was largely devoid of human worshippers at this time of night, so he was easily able to pick out the signatures of the Nightwalker guards that surrounded the structure and infested the actual tomb within. He snorted with disgust. Trust the children of darkness to choose the grave of a saint as the gateway to their greatest fortress. If the vampires had known the tomb they used as an entrance to the Court of Shadows would someday be incorporated into the largest mosque in the city, they would probably have picked a different place to tunnel. As it was, however, the adjacent holy site placed them at a tactical disadvantage to their enemies, the Sentinels. Antonio knew he was missing something. They're not stupid. Whatever Vincent thinks, there must be a reason why they're confident enough to leave this entrance open. Unfortunately, Antonio was third in rank among the leaders of the Sentinels, so his opinion didn't carry enough weight to overrule the Wind of Earth's decision to attack. "There can't be more than 30 of them down there," said Edgar, his lieutenant. The other fire sentinel frowned. "This is a major access point to the council chamber complex. That's not enough manpower to hold a strategic position of this importance. What are they hiding?" Antonio didn't answer, merely broadened his focus to examine the mosque in more detail. "There. I knew it was too easy." Edgar poured some additional power into the spell to get a better look, then sat back on his haunches in shock. "The minaret is deconsecrated. How is that possible?" "It must have taken some work to undo 200 years of worship," Antonio laughed. "It's a perfect sniper post. Any sizable attack through the square will be cut to pieces by suppression fire from the tower." Edgar went pale. "We have to call off the assault. Our forces will be slaughtered when they try to take the building." "Try telling Vincent that. Our great leader is convinced that the key to victory is to cut off the head of the snake. He won't back down now." Edgar swallowed. "Antonio, you're the Wind of Fire. Surely Lord Vincent will accept your judgment." Antonio shook his head. "He's made up his mind, Ed. All three of us have tried to convince him that the court is beyond a military solution, but he insists on pursuing it to the end. If we weren't genetically programmed to obey him, maybe we could make some headway. But he doesn't shy away from using his authority to force the rest of us to go along with him. He even ordered us not to dispute his strategy in public in order to reassure the troops." Edgar looked appalled. "Isn't there anything you can do?" "Against a spoiled teenager with absolute power? No, not at all." "I thought you were friends." "We are. I've known him for years. That doesn't blind me to his faults." A voice spoke in their minds. "Talking out of turn again, Tony?" Antonio rolled his eyes. "Just giving him fair warning, Malcolm. This is a suicide mission." The Wind of Air sighed from halfway across the city. "What did you find out?" "The square in front of the mosque is a death trap. They've got spellcasters in the minaret poised to destroy any force that approaches the mosque through the streets." "Damn. We'll have to find another way in. The entrance in the catacombs is too well defended, and we can't force more than a handful of soldiers through the tunnels at any one time by that route. This is the only access point large enough to allow a sizable force to enter. You have to convince him to call it off." "Easy to say from a distance, Tony. Do your best." The link broke, and Antonio turned his attention back to his lieutenant, who was monitoring the vampires in the minaret through the scrying spell. Antonio watched while the younger man reached up to his collar and rolled a silver locket between his fingertips. It was a plainly unconscious action. Edgar noticed Antonio's stare and flushed when he realized what he was doing. "Sorry, I forgot where I was." Antonio glanced at the locket. "We all have someone we're fighting for." He pulled his collar aside and lifted into view the white and yellow gold cross he wore at his neck. "My mother gave me this after my first communion. She said it would keep me safe." Edgar nodded. "I envy the humans, their faith. They don't know what kind of evil is really out there."
To keep listening to this audiobook, I've left you a link in the description so you can do it, at no cost thanks to Audible's 30-day free trial.